Yeah.
All right, all right.
Says it's all he throws. Allegedly. But anyhow, for the guys that watching or listening tonight, it's not my fault this time. The actual internet, a lightning bolt from heaven came down and smote a pole and took out our internet, and now it's back. So none of it was my fault.
I'm amazed that the show rebooted and got right back out on every channel. And
It's the fish gods. They needed that. They needed that chatterbait juice to get out there.
You're right. You're right, though, Pete. Let's talk about that.
did it really happen that way?
It did,
That's crazy.
but you can't get it to work right when you try.
Right. It just
From one week to the next, nothing's the same.
No
2021.
Good Lord, we're probably on ABC right
The
now.
Large
too.
Hadron Collider hit max capacity in 2012, discovered the God particle, and nothing's been the same since.
Riz, do we have any IMs? Or let's
Yeah,
Do they have any questions for Andrew about punching or win or?
Bruce has a question
God particle.
for Andrew about the rod. What makes you choose that action on the rod? Are there any circumstances where you'll go with a heavier rod because of different types of cover? Talk a little bit about that.
So the 806 was strictly, the heavier rod was strictly for that 1.5 ounce, knowing I was going to be in wind in that vegetation. And that lighter one was really just because it was slicked out and I didn't need that heavy of a weight to get through the grass or the hyacinth. But say I was, flipping wood or something like that, I'd probably go to a little bit shorter rod, a little bit lighter rod. I don't need something that heavy. But when you're in that grass and those tidal fish are so strong, you just got to really just get them in the boat.
Tell us about the 8-pound Goliath in the mat. Take us through that fish catch.
Oh, it was unbelievable. I, like I said earlier, that I rolled into that one spot, and within 10 minutes, I was punching along, punching. And I made a punch in the middle of this mat, or close to the middle, and it didn't even get halfway. She bit, and I swung on it, and it was like we were like one of you guys mentioned that sound you just hear. My rod doubled over, and I just started grinding. I mean, when they're in the grass, doesn't matter. I mean, you just grind. That's all you do. Grind. And my co-angler, he had the net ready, wasn't freaking out. It comes up to the top of the mat, and I just start sliding it. I saw the shoulders on it. I'm like, that's a big one. And I'm grinding around and get to the boat, and I'm like, holy mackerel. I mean, it probably lasted 20 seconds, but it was one of those deals. I was like, geez, that's a big one.
You got the 8-pounder up on top of the mat?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, I swung as hard as I could and just pulled her out. When you're punching out there, there's no messing around playing them. You swing and you reel in. I mean, that's all you especially with an ounce or ounce and a half, anything bigger. I mean, they could throw that weight in a matter of seconds. It's so easy. They turn their head once, it's done.
What was the celebration?
Yeah, exactly, JK. Go ahead.
Celebration. What was it like?
I mean, I gave him a little fist bump. I was pretty pumped up, but I put in the box and I was a little shooken up. And my co-angler, Colby Hunts, he's really, really good kid. He's 20 years old. He won the co-angler tournament, the first tournament at the Delta, and he made the top 10, and he actually finished second. And him and his brother out there, they're studs on the Delta. Logan Hunts, he actually won the last tournament on the Delta as a pro, and his younger brother won as a co-angler, so it's pretty neat.
Wow.
And I got it in the boat, and it was kind of funny. They're both Delta studs, and I got it in the boat, put it in the live well, and I'm like, dude, I'm honestly really happy you didn't freak out or anything when I was reeling. And then he's like, I've actually landed a lot of these for my brother. I'm like, yeah, you got a good point. But no, it was good. We had a great time on the water. We were fist bumping, having a good time. He had a good day too. He was 5 pounds back going into day 3 and almost had his second win of the year, but finished second.
Oh,
wow.
It was good.
Shout out
Pete,
to
JK, let's go ahead and just schedule the Bass University executive trip out to the Delta.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go punching.
Come on out.
Let's
We
quit
gotta go
messing
to
around.
Clear-
Well, 2 days on the Delta, 2 days on Clear Lake. That sounds like a BASSU trip.
Yeah.
Exactly.
West Coast bucket list swing.
Yes. I'm in.
Yeah,
Yep.
you guys gotta remember too. One thing I want to bring up for guys watching, the West Coast, they don't have all the options. They don't have the BFLs in the Toyota. There's no Bassmaster Open. Bassmaster doesn't go out there. You know, there's no opens. There's no. I mean, the Toyota Series is it. That's the pinnacle of the sport out there. And all the guys who go show up, they're all driving. Like, it's not just a bunch. I mean, there's some local guys, yeah, but there's a lot of guys who drive 10, 15, 20 hours just to go, because it's like the only fishing tournament at a high level with 20 hours or 15 hours, you know? So, you know, I just want to put emphasis on the win for you, man. Like that's as big as it gets out on the West Coast. And I'm really happy for you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Yeah, our lakes spread out a little bit around here. There's a lot of guys I know that big, like Lake Havasu and Lake Mead, huge area. A lot of great fishermen down there. And they, you know, we had two tournaments at the Delta this year, and all of them traveled up 10, 12 hours to get here. And then we'll do the same to go down to Havasu. It's 11 hours from my house, but it is what it is, and we're all fired up for it. And then, hey, we'll hop in the truck. We'll hop in the truck and go to Pickwick in a couple months.
That's awesome.
That's a little bit longer drive than 11 hours for you. But,
a little bit. I enjoy it, though. It's always a good time. My dad, he'll come out with me, and he's, you know, my parents are my biggest support system. They're awesome, and
that is awesome.
And my dad and I, we have a great time going out back east.
Yeah, he's the man. He was dumping us in the tournament. It's awesome to have a support system on the road with you like him.
Yeah,
he's an
great.
OG West Coast hammer, man.
Yep.
Andrew, thank you for coming on, sharing your story, and giving us all this great tips and techniques. Great win. Congratulations. Want to wish you best at Havasu and Pickwick. And, you know, we're going to be watching. And, you know, thanks so much for coming on BASSU Live.
Yeah, huge thank you to you guys for having me on. I really had a great time and talking with you guys and Justin too. Awesome. I hope to see you guys sometime soon, and hopefully at the championship. It was a good time. I appreciate it.
We appreciate it. We're going to do nothing but punch for the rest of the year.
Yes.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Big weight.
Looking for that 8-pounder. Andrew, thank you so much. The champ from the Delta. Congrats. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Yeah, thank you guys. You guys have a good one.
You too, buddy.
Have you ever caught an 8-pounder punching?
That's a negative.
No.
Not that big.
I don't know what my biggest punching fish is.
I have to think about it myself. It's probably in the 6s.
Yeah.
For me, you know.
Dude, I don't even have a 6. I have a 5. That's it.
I love that bite though. It's such an amazing bite, and
I love how it's so fast. Like you said, you flip it in there, and 9% of the time they're going to bite on that fall.
yeah,
You know, it's like, okay, I got you. Well, I don't got you, but I got the bite.
yeah.
You know, you lose a lot of them.
But you know, depending on the bite, like it's weird down in Florida. Who were we? One of the guys at BASSU was it was Caleb. Guys, we just filmed punching with Caleb Sumrall. I hear the storm now outside. And this was really cool because he's from Louisiana, similar to Florida, soft bottom. And he talked about the importance of letting the bait sit above the soft bottom, you know, and how he rigs his bait such that it sits above the bottom when it's down there. It's so interesting because the reason why I'm thinking about that is like a lot of places I'm punching, they have hard bottom, and I let it hit the bottom. And then you pop it, and doom, you know, you get that bite. But boy, when the soft bottom's there, it's like the bait disappears into it, you know. And but it's all about the fall.
So it's got a bobber on there, about a foot up.
He leaves. Honestly, I can't remember exactly what he does. I got to go back and watch the video. I was producing.
Rich
I'm
knows, but he ain't gonna tell.
I'm like trying to take notes, and he starts saying something that's really, really cool, and I'm like, I can't talk because the cameras are running.
Yeah.
I want to ask him questions.
Right.
And I'm like, I gotta wait till it's released too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But that was
JK, when's that one coming?
Look at the calendar real quick. Give me 2 seconds.
Do you remember, Rich? Do you remember what he does on the soft bottom?
Yeah, he fishes unpegged.
Unpegged.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
Yep.
Unpegged in the
Look
soft
how
bottom.
mad Rich is to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fish unpegged.
If my editing team does what they're supposed to do, it will release on August 31st.
Okay.
Guys, if you're watching right now, that's one that you're gonna want to tune in for.
Yeah.
Right? That's
Yeah.
like if you're somebody that's on the fence about the program and you like that style of fishing, flipping, pitching, punching, yeah, you're gonna want to see that one.
I gotta say, like,
Pete, I couldn't even contain myself.
I know.
When he was getting bites like punching, I was like beating the steering wheel, throwing water bottles off.
but we'll see how it goes.
Make it dope.
Yeah,
I
that
like it.
that's going to be coming real soon. But anyway, so talking about, he is also a D-bomb guy. Caleb is like, he was borrowing used D-bombs from Brian the Carpenter's
Used?
garage.
Yeah, he took all my missile baits.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
there used ones in there?
Yeah.
Well, what
Dude,
the hell?
He didn't want to hear nothing. He didn't want to hear no beaver. He didn't want to hear nothing about any other bait. He had to have the D-bomb. They had hook marks, scrapes, and
D-bomb.
it's a bad bait.
Yeah.
He showed us.
What color
He's going to
does
show you guys,
BTC?
too.
I'll send.
Say again, JK?
I said, what color does BTC need? I'll send him some.
Bruiser.
Yeah,
Bruiser.
yeah.
I got a couple bags hitting my doorstep tomorrow.
Right on.
Love it. GDP,
Yo.
third year on the elites, man.
Yeah, going to the fourth here. Yep.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Tell, I mean,
Hey man,
was
every
this year like?
every year that you get back on the elites,
Yep.
you're punching your ticket to keep the longevity of
bet.
your career going, because you mentioned this before, that so many of these lakes in your first couple years you've never been to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once you start getting through that circuit, you're going to start seeing lakes come back around, and you're like, I know a little something about this lake.
Yeah,
You
for
know?
sure. Dude, it's been. I really can't stress how much I've learned these last 3 years.
yeah.
You know, looking at my results, some weren't so good, but man, like I said before, some of them really bad events, man, is when I learned everything.
That's a powerful statement.
Yes.
You do learn
Yep.
more from your losses than your wins.
Yep.
A lot of times,
Yep.
you know.
And I think it's because you're not zeroed in on a pattern or doing one thing. You're actually scrambling and you're using your confidence to keep looking, like you said. You know, you practice during the event, and when you have bad events, that's what you're doing. You're looking around at different things. You're trying to make things happen, but you're learning at the same time you're doing all that.
Right.
You know, you're seeing more of the lake. You're seeing the way it lays. You're seeing the way the fish react. You're doing this. You're doing that.
Well, a lot of guys were stressing about requalifying.
Yeah, a lot of guys didn't.
I taught, yeah.
Yep.
Right. There was that big shakeup, and everybody was protected for a little while, but
Yep.
now
Yep.
the protection is off.
Yeah, 22 guys this year gone.
22 guys.
Yep, big number.
Ooh,
No
there was a
kidding.
vote.
There was a vote.
And?
It hasn't come out fully yet. It might only be 12, I think, but it's shaking out towards 22. I'm thinking.
Are you?
Yeah.
And you're in.
Yes.
Regardless.
Oh, you're in
Good,
regardless, yeah, but I'm, yeah,
Maybe you heard something different. I don't know.
maybe.
We'll see. I hope for their sake that it goes back to 100 again.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
I would think so, man. 100's a good number.
It was, but
What's the downside to it?
I don't disagree with you at all. I think 100's a great number. I mean, it's the only game in town for the Elite Series. 100's a great number.
100's the number.
But I mean, you know, it could be 80, it could be 90.
No, it's 100.
It could be 100.
We just said it, right, Pete?
Yep.
It's 100.
It was the top 100.
Who do
I
we
know
got to
it
call?
started.
Yeah, who do we got to call? It was top 100 how many years ago?
I don't
20.
All right, knock it off over there.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen as far as that goes, but
Well, the whole theory behind it was the less competitors, the more the audience could connect with each competitor. So they were trying to do
The more competitors, the more money there is to win.
not
per,
necessarily.
for the anglers.
Oh, necessarily.
No, I've seen all the numbers. I don't
What?
think- No, I mean, if you
The winnings haven't changed, right?
our winnings went up actually. The winnings went up in 2019. They were higher than they've ever had, but they've grown a little bit every year because of certain things that are being dumped into the payouts.
Well, there's certain things, but that has nothing. That's
Right.
not in regards to the number of anglers. The more anglers, the more money's going to be there, and you're also going to have a certain percentage at the bottom that are probably, possibly, maybe going to spend a lot of time there, and they're the guys that other people
Agreed.
are making money off of.
I agree with that 100%. Yes, that part of it. The more guys, the more it spreads things. Yes.
Yeah.
I
But-
got a question.
yes.
Can I take us off this subject?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to? All right, back to the stuff that you've learned.
Yep.
Like learning a lot from bad events. You know, now if you're a top 6 guy, you know, you're on camera, and then they do like 10 cameras on the final day. There's a lot of information there that's there. Are you the type of guy that on a bad event will you go back when that stuff gets uploaded to YouTube and stuff and watch, you know, kind of what you may or may not could learn from some guys, or will you do that?
I do. I do it on bad events, good events, and middle of the road events. It just seems like from these last 3 years, the places that we have revisited, a lot of the stuff the guys were doing, that I watched, has not replayed. If that makes sense.
Right.
It's
So you're
just really
a lot of
crazy.
that.
I follow you.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful.
Correct.
Because it can lead you down the wrong path if
And-
you try to do what they did last
And
year.
that's one thing that I'm definitely learning a lot of, how you just got to take everything with hindsight. You just got to take it for what it is. But when you get there, that's the real lake. That's what's going on.
Right.
And it's
What's happening now?
correct, because look at the last 3 years in our weather patterns. They've been completely different. So that, makes the lake way different as far as where the fish are, as far as the spawn, post spawn. A lot of things, water level, rain, all that stuff. It just changes the whole gamut. I mean, it's just, you just got to take it all with a grain of salt. You really do. But Riz did say, you're going back to these places
Yep.
over and over. And the biggest thing for me with a body of water is knowing the lay of the land.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
just
because-
seeing it, like
Seeing
just
it.
like driving down the lake and being like, oh, that's what this part of the lake
Yeah.
looks
Yeah,
like.
and you can, if you were to get on something, you can start applying.
Yep.
I know where this is, I know where that's at. Then you can start running stuff and making stuff happen.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And
Yep.
and even know navigation, like that's not an issue if you've been there already.
Correct.
Yep.
You know where the shallow water is, the rocks, and
Yep.
you can get around and
Efficiency.
save time.
You can be so much more
Efficient.
efficient on
Yeah.
a lake that you've
Well
put
said.
your boat in
Mhm.
in there before, and you're not just going in fresh. Like you can do all the map study you want to. You can do all the all the Google Earthing that you want to. There's nothing like actually being on the water at a place and taking it all in real time and actually being there. So.
Efficiency is the buzzword of Bass University in 2021.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Every seminar, guys are talking about it.
The other side of it too, man. Like one thing
The other side.
we hear a lot of is the guys getting in the groove and going. And I have learned, and I'm not being negative here, but I have learned that there's two sides of that groove. It's either you make the wrong moves a lot,
Yep.
or you make the positive moves.
Right.
A lot. And for me, I've had a lot of opportunities these last 3 years where I should have done really well at a lot of events, but I, lost some fish here, did this, did that. Where if I would have just, capitalized on them areas or whatever I was doing, it could have been a way different season.
Right.
And it's just really weird. And I think what I'm trying to say is you just can't force it. Just let it roll the punches.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what happens, whether you're fishing local or fishing
Yep.
BFL stuff or whatever it is.
I couldn't agree more. I have a phrase I use: you got to let it come to you.
Yep.
And if you try to force it,
You're just prolonging the process. Of
you're
not coming.
prolonging the agony,
Yes.
the suffering.
Yep. It's true. I mean, dude, it's true. And at this level, it really, punches
Yep.
you right in the face.
Yeah.
You
You got to, and it's so hard because, God Almighty, the weight of the world's on you. The
Yeah,
pressure to
it is
requalify, the
Everything.
sponsors that you got to, please, and they're looking at you. I mean, there's so much pressure, so it's so hard
It's very
to
hard.
fish free like that, you know?
It really is, man. I give a lot of these guys a lot of credit, that have done it for 15, 20 years. It's just amazing to have that long of a career doing this.
Yeah.
Because how hard it is,
Right.
not even just hard of that aspect, but the travel, everything about it. It's just tough.
Yeah.
If you're looking to be a professional fisherman, which I'm sure a lot of you guys that are watching this are, down the road, it's very, very tough. But if you're like me and you love it, man, it's worth it. It's still worth it. End of the day, I'm tired, I'm beat, but when I get up,
No
man,
other
I'm ready to
place
do it
you'd rather
again.
be.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Exactly. It's crazy. I don't know, man. Passion is a big thing with people.
Yeah.
Especially bass fishermen.
Yep. And it's funny because that's why I'm fishing these tournaments, and Randy Blaukett said this on one of his YouTube videos, is like, once it gets in your blood,
Yep.
I mean, you just love it.
Yeah.
And as frustrating as it can be when things go south, but I mean, I still love it. You're out there battling it, and I'm having a ball out there in the BFLs and the Toyotas and Opens,
Yep.
and having a ball fishing it. But you're doing it on the highest level.
Pete, are you going to transition into your next?
I was going to transition,
Yeah,
but
well,
you
I'm
want to
gonna-
transition me
I'm
somewhere
gonna-
else?
Yeah, no, I'm going to jump over it and steal it from you. And then I'm throwing it to JK, and then you get a turn. All right? Is that all right? No, I was
But I got my flipping stick in my
I
hand,
know,
man.
but
I'm ready to go.
you got to pass the ball
I
there,
got.
Gretzky.
I'm gonna get a 4-pounder on this
Actually,
next
Gretzky
cast.
had a lot of assists.
He did.
Sorry,
And
Yager.
he had a puck.
He's Yager over there, ball hog. No,
What do you got, Brian?
we had Summerall and Livesey in here, last week, and they kind of talked about that learning curve, and for Lee, I think it was 3 years, and Caleb it was 4. So you're right there, and they both just talked about the steps to get there and where you start like really feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
And so. I mean, dude, there's so many little lessons to learn, all the little mistakes, all the little on the water mistakes, and it's time doing it. If you can survive the first handful of years,
What's the most important thing that
go
you've
ahead, Pete.
learned?
Brian, the most important thing, man. Gosh, I guess it's it's probably an average answer. It's just confidence in yourself. That's got to be the number one thing, man. Because if you doubt yourself, you're in the wrong game.
Yeah.
You got to be positive at this. You got to be willing to take risks and believe in your risks, no matter how it goes.
Yes.
You know.
Jordan Lee gives that great commercial. He's like, "Stop thinking, just go."
Yep.
Or I'm paraphrasing him in that
Yeah.
commercial. I've been watching him, but he's like, "I don't, I just fish. I don't second guess myself."
Well, this goes back to kind of what you said.
Huge.
Think about when you're practicing. There's no pressure for the most
Yeah.
part. You're like, oh, let me go over here and try this. Let me go over here and try that. You're not really thinking about it. You're doing.
right.
That's the difference. And, that's probably part of it, too. Like we're saying, once you get to the groove of doing and it starts trickling the right direction, maybe that's a difference maker to where, you're just crushing it.
Yeah.
It's once I learn it all, trust me, I'll let you guys know it.
Well, let me just give you something inspiring to go off of, and then I'm going to throw it to Justin. Dude, I've been doing this for 8 years. I'm freaking terrible, and I'm still here. Mistakes every show. We think we're on it. No, shit doesn't work no more.
No, just like
Can't
us,
figure
the
nothing
weather,
out.
man, gets you
Yep.
every time.
Yeah, it's something. Doesn't matter what it is. But I'm still here, dude, so you got a shot.
Thanks, Brian.
Justin, to you.
What you passing to me for?
I don't know. You said you had questions or something.
No, that I got to ask GDP. I do want to ask though, like, have you ever, when you've gone back and watched it, I think the answer you gave earlier was perfect. Just how you learn from that week and you learn what you should have been doing, but it doesn't apply to the lake the next year. I think that's an awesome lesson. The other thing I wanted to say, have you ever been like, don't look at him, he's on my stuff, he's killing them, and I totally missed the boat, have you ever gone back and seen somebody just wrecking the fish that you found?
Well, the only thing that really pops up in my mind is Cayuga back in, it was either last year or 2 years ago. These fish were on an outside grass line, really, really good. And I pull up in the morning and I throw my first cast, and the weather changed completely. I looked at my marshal and I said, the weather changed, the fish are going to be shallow today. And as I say that, Hunter Strog is right on the inside of me, and I watch them bow up on a big one. Then I watch them catch 20 pounds every day off of it. And I just kept my distance. I was still catching fish outside, you know, but I really didn't have too much more. I did run around and try some more stuff, but all of them, I mean, it was piles of fish. He caught 20 pounds every day. I just watched it unfold right in front of me. You know, I knew it. But at that point, he already set the hook. It was already too late. I wasn't going to pull one on him.
Boy, that's sportsmanship.
Yeah, and he even thanked me after the event.
Wow.
Yep.
That's that's the thing that most people don't understand about tournament fishing is, especially like you're in a relatively small field.
Correct.
But the guys are really good, so they're going to find the fish. Like in a 200 boat field, like in the opens, if you find 5 areas, you'll get to fish half of them.
Yeah, maybe
during the tournament.
Yep.
Maybe. Same thing in the elites.
Oh, the elites, I think, are worse. It's like you really can't find anything for yourself. It seems like.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't seem to work that way. It's amazing how we all find the same stuff.
And it's amazing, like when I'm fishing by myself, I know it's a polarizing thing. I'm either gonna crush them or gonna catch absolutely nothing.
Yep.
I shouldn't be fishing by myself. You know,
it's true though.
It's that's the way I feel. And
Yeah.
most often it's like, oh crap, I missed the boat. Nobody else is here. I'm fishing in this creek all by myself. There's no way the guys missed it.
Yeah,
you know?
well, man, there's been a couple little things, of course, of the year where the guys have missed a couple things that I found that I did really well doing it. But man, they're rare.
Yeah,
very rare.
So then it becomes about timing and fit and managing your spots, or even managing the field.
Yeah, and that's, man, you can't even put a right answer on that either, because, you know, sometimes on the offshore events where you're fishing schools, man, it's like, you know, how much do I wear on them? The next day they might be gone. You know, you just don't know. You really can't gauge that answer.
What do you do? Are you?
I can't give you an answer because I don't know, because I've been burned both ways.
Right.
You know, where I've let them sit and I come back and they're gone, or I wear them out because I don't think they're going to be here next day and I catch them all.
Right.
You know, it's a really hard thing to do, especially offshore fish.
Somebody just did that in the MLF. I can't remember who it was, but they leaned on him. Oh, Brandon Coulter really leaned on his largemouth up at Lake Champlain because he was trying to win his way to out the next day.
Yep.
And he didn't win. He took second. I think Wheeler bumped him. And then his fish, you know, he beat him up so bad that they weren't available for him the next day.
One thing that I did learn, I mean, this is just common sense too, but like, you know, we can all somewhat, for the most part, see the weather for the next day. You know, it's not right all the time, but like if I'm on an area and I know there's a big weather change, then I'm wearing them out. Yeah. Because like it probably won't be the same the next day.
You're exactly right. Yeah.
But one event this year that really sticks out to me is Pickwick. We had all that flooding, basically, which took all the practice out the window. We had 2 days off. But they gave us 2 days off because the weather was so bad. So when everybody launched their boat day one of the tournament, it was brand new. Yeah. And I liked it because I ran around like an animal, and then I found them. I found them day one. I go back day 2 to that same spot, gone. I run around and find them again. Yeah. You know, that's how I liked it. I did like that format on that tournament.
Right.
You know.
Well, burning down the house. Catch. How about you, Riz? Multi-day tournament. Are you leaving fish biting?
I don't have much experience in the multi-day tournaments, but the well, actually that's not true. In the last few years I have. In one tournament last year in the 2-day BFL, I mean I knew I had fish in backwater that I was pretty confident they weren't going to leave. So on the first day, when, you know, after I filled out my limit and then I saw the size starting to get smaller, I left because they're not going to help me today. Let me come back here and fill out my limit with them tomorrow. And then this year in a 3-day state qualifier, I leaned on them hard on the second day because I had a bad day 1, so I needed to dig myself out of the hole on day 2, which I did. I ended up having big bag of the tournament. But in that situation, late in the day, I did catch 2, 3, 4. I can't remember how many fish that I caught that didn't make my bag on that day, that on the third day in that area on that stretch, I could have really used on the third day to take me from 4th place to possibly 3rd or 2nd or 1st. So I don't know. I mean, it's really tough. It's a tough call to make of whether you're gonna just keep catching them or save them, because
No, it's not. Burn down the house, catch them all, worry about tomorrow.
So that's what Scott Canterbury told me. The year he took AOI, he said he burnt the house every day.
Yep.
All season long. But I think part of that groove.
Yeah.
He got in the right rhythm, the right rotation.
What do you got, JK?
I'm with Pete. I'm burning it down. But let me tell you a mentality that I got from co-angler fishing, right? So keepers are gold for co-anglers a lot of times, especially in the South. But it's like I always called it going to get my license, like perfect scenario, BFL, I won 18, 17 something. I knew it was going to be a great topwater day. It's going to be cloudy all day long. But I didn't start out doing it. It was kind of tough and funky in the morning. It was post-spawn. It was really funky. So I skipped a wacky rig around, and I did not let myself pick up a topwater until I got the license. And by that, I mean a limit in the boat up into where I knew I'd be in check range. Like at that, I think my goal was like 7 or 8 pounds that I knew I could catch with the spinning rod. But man, was it hard not to throw topwater off the cuff, that tournament. But I also knew what kind of tournament it was going to be. I knew there was probably only going to be 5 or 6 limits because it was that tough post-spawn period. And when I picked up the topwater, got my license around 1 o'clock, and caught a 5.5 pounder that was big bass of the tournament and vaulted me to the win. Now on the boater side, I don't care if it's a multi-day, obviously if it's a multi-day event, that's what we're talking about. I'm doing the same thing, but like if you start really reckoning it to where you're like, man, I'm about to maximize my potential here, that's when we're pulling the old big, like super big, like out of whack big, whether it's a big glide bait, big giant topwater, a big mop jig, something that's just gonna target that. Okay, now we're fishing for 5 or 6 pounders or something, because that's what I think will make a difference. But I'll never forget hearing Brandon Polinick say the same thing that Scott Canterbury did. Never save fish. He never saves fish.
Yeah. Do you practice tomorrow? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And if you're that dialed, you'll re-find a group of fish. If if it's going your way, you'll figure something else out tomorrow. Too many times I've left them thinking that was a right strategy, and it hardly ever is. So, I most often, of course, next tournament I'll leave them and make that decision. And then you got to make it in real time, but burn it down.
Yeah.
But what are you doing? Next year, is the schedule out?
It is. I'm already getting ready to. So next year we have 2 events in the middle of August. We have Oahe, which is out in South
That
Dakota.
giant body of water.
Giant body of water, and then we also have lacrosse.
Okay.
So we're in August right now. I'm actually going to drive to South Dakota here in a week. I'm going to go out there and practice Oahe. It'll be the same time, just to see if I can get a gauge, and then also lacrosse. They'll go check it out.
It's good use, perfect use of your time.
Yep. But I mean, it never stops. As far as once we start getting closer again, we start off next year on the St. John's again. Then we go to the Harris chain.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. I've been to Harris in a long time. I like that place a lot. Grass Lake.
Right.
Chatterbait,
bass, Florida bass.
Yeah. Pre-spawn.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Yep.
I got to be honest. That what you're about to do is when I'm at my happiest when I'm fishing, is when I'm going to scout a body of water, look at a new body of water, or even a body of water I've been to before, where there's not a practice time frame.
Yep.
I don't have a pending tournament.
Yep.
And I can just look at a body of water. I can get on my side imaging and 360 and just
relax.
Yep. Take your time.
Yep.
That's to me that's my favorite time to be on the water.
Yep.
Usually by myself.
Yeah, I will be too. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. You and I think there's 2 or 3 other people that live in the Dakotas that that might see you out there.
This is true.
You're out in the middle of nowhere, man.
Yeah, I guess it's like the walleye capital there, supposedly.
Oh,
that,
really?
That one guy, that one other guy that fishes the lake,
I won't even see him.
the one dude.
They were saying that lake's bigger than Champlain.
Yeah, it's like something ridiculous, something stupid.
You might see a road runner while you're out there.
Yeah.
They're
Really?
real, by the way. Yeah.
It's a fuel management thing out there too.
I believe, from what I can see, from what I've already watched, they're actually launching us to where a lot of the guys are running to. So
okay.
we're launching out of a place called Mo Bridge or something it's called.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give you a little bit more reach.
Correct.
Because there's no fuel on the lake, and
Yeah, supposedly nothing like that yet.
yeah, that'll
Huh.
be interesting. Well, we look forward to hearing about it when
Yeah.
you get back.
Yeah.
On the show. I want to hear more about that lake. It's pretty
Yep.
exciting stuff. We have a Facebook like and share contest going on right now. If you guys haven't done it yet, you're watching us over there. Like and share us. If you've not subscribed to BASSU TV, the Frog Days of Summer, we're going to give you 2 frogs with an annual subscription. What kind of frogs are we giving out, Justin?
River to Sea,
River to
Ish Monroe, Fat Matt Daddy frogs.
Mac.
It's a mouthful, but it won the Mississippi River event back in 2018 or 17.
Yes.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
come on over and join us. Take advantage of all the great benefits, and subscribe to BASSU.tv. It's going to make you a better angler. And do we have a trivia question tonight?
We sure do, Pete. You ready to go to that?
I'm ready.
Okay. Guys, tonight's grand prize going out the door is it's actually over $100 worth of tackle
Hey, now.
and swag and all kinds of goodies. And the question, guys, as always, we need a specific answer for a specific question. What was Pete's line setup while fishing at Cayuga? What was Pete's line setup? I need the brand, the diameter of the braid, and the diameter of the fluorocarbon. All in the same answer. So what was Pete's setup for his line that was crucial for him landing a 5-pounder that was wrapped around everything in the lake?
6-1.
6-1. It was a 6-1. 6-1 that was
Steel
wrapped
girders.
around everything in the lake. What was his line setup? I need the braid diameter to the fluorocarbon diameter and the brand all in the same text. If you give it to me 3 different messages, it's not going to count because I can't keep
You
up
lose.
with that. So put it all in the same answer.
All right. Great question. Great stuff. And
That's right.
so you've got next year. We've got it on the schedule. You got some new bodies of water you're going to go check out. And what else is going on? How's the sponsorship side of things going?
So far, so good.
Yeah,
It's been really good.
that's great.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad to have you part of BASSU.
I'm glad you're part of
Boom, we got a
BASSU.
winner.
Get the heck
Oh,
out
wop,
of here.
bop,
Hang
a loo,
on.
bop.
Didn't take long. I mean, this guy's on his game all the time. Howie Range, none
Howie.
other than Howie, and that's 15-pound braid to 16-pound fluorocarbon, and that's by Gamma line, 15-pound braid to 16-pound fluorocarbon. Pete, talk about that a
Is
little
that the
bit.
guy from the Classic, Pete?
Why your
I don't know.
fluoro is a little heavier than your braid? Why didn't you go 20-pound braid to 16? You went 15 to 16.
Well, honestly, I got to be able to skip. Howie
Skip,
Range
yep.
is a long time, friend of the show. We've known Howie forever. He writes for many publications. And
Howie.
done a lot of interviews with Howie.
Nice.
Great guy and great answer. But the I like 10-pound because of its castability.
Yes.
Right. I want
Yep.
to be able to bomb that, skip it, and go 100 miles. But I upped it to 15 because of all the crap that I was
ruckus.
going to have to get those fish through. I wanted to keep it at 10. I upped it to 15. And 16-pound Gamma Edge fluoro is the toughest line you can imagine. It can get through zebra mussels. I would have gone to 20 or 25 if I felt like I could have gotten away with it. But 16 is so tough, and that's where I put myself, So that's why 15. That's why 16. It's a perfect combination if you're skipping a spinning. It allows you to present that bait weightless, finessey, but when you get the bite, you're going to be able to get through zebras, metal, wood, the whole 9 yards. And it worked out for me, in that situation. And honestly, it's the same combination I used to win Cayuga. And I caught a lot of fish off the docks back in 2012. Not all of them. A lot of them came flipping. But when I was dock fishing, I was using that same combination.
Same year that the Large Hadron Collider reached max capacity.
What does that mean?
It found the the God particle. That's when the world ended.
Oh, when
the Mayan calendar
be
ended,
light.
and the new reality started, where everything's ridiculous. But
Wow.
anyhow,
Come on. I'm not that old, man. I can still get
What's
it
that,
done. Top 10, top 10.
that's exactly right.
Yeah, that's
See-
right.
You
Yeah,
know?
look,
Grrr.
you born again.
Rod boat up. Grrr.
Go ahead, JK. What do you got?
You tying an FG knot on that?
No, I am tying an Albright
Double
knot.
granny to granny with a little bit of super glue.
Albright knot with super glue, and it's 100%. It's
Got
like
it.
automatic. Here's the beauty of it. It's not, the FG knot's smaller, and I think, I've never used it, but it might go through guys, I don't know. But I can tell, like when you asked me about retying, I can retie a leader faster than anybody I've ever seen
What?
with the Albright knot. It's just like, you don't sweat it. You know how a lot of guys won't
quick.
they'll tie a 15-foot leader just so that they don't ever have to retie it, But I can tie that in less than 30 seconds.
Yeah. What is your leader?
4 feet, generally speaking. Because here's what I don't want the knot to go in the eyes. So I try to keep that leader short enough to where I can skip it without it ever going into the rod eyes. And,
Interesting.
He's only
when I
fishing
can get
8
away
inches
with
of
the
water.
short leader. What's
Makes-
that?
Actually, you're only fishing 8 inches of water.
Right?
Makes sense.
It's
Yeah,
a
you don't need a long leader.
I've fished with you a lot, and I've noticed that you'll even, when you're retying baits on that leader, that 4 feet will get down to like
4
one
inches.
and a half before you change it, and you're still catching them.
Yep. At practice, you just keep cutting it down and
That's
cutting
right.
it down.
It don't matter in practice.
Yeah, but I'll put my arm out and I'll right in the middle of my chest to my fingertips.
That ain't 4 feet, bro.
That's my leader length.
Okay.
Like 3.
Right there.
3.5, maybe.
I got like 38 inches right there.
38 inches or so.
That's what I do. You're in my world now, son.
Hey, come on. I'm 6.
Now look here.
I'm about 6 foot. That's well, that's 3 feet, isn't it?
Yep.
Damn.
Now look here, Pete. That's 3 feet.
That's absolutely 3 feet.
Now listen here.
At least you
All
caught
right.
yourself.
There you go.
It's like Jesse saying the other guy he cut off was 500 yards away on Malaga Lake.
Yeah, Malaga Lake's only 500 yards total.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But anyhow.
Gotta love it.
Hey, Pete, before we get to I don't want to forget this. You fishing DOD Saturday?
Yes.
You doing that event for woods and water? Taking a vet out there?
We're Bob Soley, friend of the show, been on the show, and Anna's wife. They're doing or participating in an event where we take veterans fishing.
Yeah.
And asked me to participate, and I'm happy to do so. I'll be there on Saturday.
Yeah, I got the call tonight.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm going to try. I got to check my schedule. I've got a lot going on.
yeah. Well, I'm going to clear my slate,
Yeah.
and
I'm going to try to do it.
yeah, we're gonna show up down at the DOD on Saturday. Can the vets still sign up? Do you know the details?
Well, they want to lock in how many boats they got, and then
I gotcha.
they don't want to have,
Yep.
bad numbers.
Anna wanted me to sign up, but I'm live on the show, Anna, so I'm going to do it as soon as I can.
Yeah.
Zip, zip.
Zip, zip. So we're going.
Oh, wait, you can use live bait for that, can't you?
Can you?
I think so. Can't you use live bait in that event?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Shiners.
I mean,
Minnows.
but you can throw a Senko.
I know I'd be.
Live line and a Senko.
Where
Yeah,
would
that's
you
right.
be?
I can't tell.
Come on, get out of here.
On the rock piles, man.
Yeah. Rock piles.
Whoever's
rock
fishing
piles.
with me,
I'm serious.
No, the
we're going to get
barges.
the details.
No.
The
how
barge
much-
out
How
in the
much you
lake.
want to bet me there's rock piles out there?
Oh, I know
there's
the rock
rock
piles.
Oh, Arnie's making fun of me.
Damn right.
I'll be on the rock piles.
Are you going
They
tomorrow?
may or may not be there.
When tomorrow?
Yeah, or Saturday.
Fishing down the bay for
Okay.
Bass Legends, I guess it is.
Legends.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be down the DOD.
I might be there too, man.
I hope you are.
I'm going to try to.
Yep. We
Yeah.
got a lot of good friends and appreciate all the service. that the folks in the military have provided for us, and provided us the opportunity to go out and do what we love to do.
Thank you.
So, going to be there on Saturday.
Yeah, Bob. This will be his second one this year.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, he
Reigning
Ex-Marine.
champion.
yeah they fished Assunpink.
Okay.
Oh, he smashed them.
I heard about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Went to an old waypoint he had. He'd
Yeah.
been there in like 9 years.
Yeah.
They just fell on him,
Man, that's
and they
great.
just crushed them all day.
He was out with a female.
Yep.
I remember.
Yep.
And he was saying she was so
It's their
amazing.
first time bass fishing.
And she just crushed them.
Yeah, I mean
All
she's
big
fished.
ones.
You know, she was, but yeah, first fish was a 4-pounder right at the boat.
Yeah.
I think broke the line, but he's like, oh, that's probably the only bite we're going to get all day. No, they smashed them.
Nothing
And she
but
caught
big
the big ones too.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. Well, guys, thanks so much for watching. Appreciate all you guys. We got a Facebook like and share winner. If you haven't done that yet, go do it right now. Riz is about to pick the winner for this. And so
right.
go and get that done.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't liked and shared yet, go ahead and do it now. Just coming up on the schedule here for BASSU, we got an awesome seminar coming out later this week with Mike Iaconelli. It's customizing your lures and modifications. That's a really good one that you're definitely not gonna want to miss. And then next week we have an awesome piece coming out from Ott Defoe. That guy can just flat out catch him, and it's how to break down a new body of water. That's always a hot topic for a bass angler in general. You're going somewhere you've never been before. Well, we're releasing Ott Defoe on how he breaks down new bodies of water.
By the way, just had a brilliant MLF tournament.
Yep.
Down in Thai, throwing his OG flat side.
What?
And
Yep.
his mini flat side
In Thai?
in Thai. I think it was in Thai, based on what I saw. But just cranking them up.
Yep.
Cranking them up down
So,
Thai.
guys,
Can't
as
wait.
always, we're pumping out the content. 3 to 4 new releases a week. There's over 900 videos on the website, almost 1,000 right now. Guys, the information is there. It's like the cheat code to the information rule. It really is. So if you're not signed up and you're serious about your bass fishing, you're selling yourself short. Give it a shot. Head over to BASSU TV. You can take a free trial. Sign up annually. If you do it now, we're still going to give you 2 River to Sea frogs and a Bass University official camo hat. This joker is a lucky hat for sure, and it looks good. You can wear it while you're out hunting this fall
forget
too.
about
So, but without any further ado, our Facebook like and share winner tonight is Andrew Redding from down there in the great state of Virginia. Congratulations, Andrew Redding. You are tonight's Facebook like and share winner for Bass University Live.
Thanks for watching, Andrew. And
Pete, you going to St. Lawrence next week?
no,
Okay.
I am not fishing the Toyota Series.
Gotcha.
So
I'm going up.
Are you going up
Yeah.
with Ike?
One Angler of the Year race.
What's that, JK?
I said you can't fish all the AOY races, I guess.
I know. No, I just can't do it all. That's awesome. That I will be there for the Open at Thousand Islands.
Okay.
So, but
Why are you missing out on it this?
I just I have to call the amount of tournaments that I'm fishing. I can't fish them all.
Okay.
Can't fish them all. So
Heard that.
I'm going to fish the Opens, and I'm going to fish the BFLs.
Damn thing we call work.
And I cherry pick the Toyota Series when I can. So
I got you.
that's
okay.
what I'm-
Yeah, but where are you sitting?
13th.
Come on.
13th.
Come on.
Maybe I fish the Potomac and squeak into the top 50.
So what's there, 2 left?
There's 2 left.
I got you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just going for the ride, man.
Yeah. Well, enjoy. It's going to be Thousand Islands, one of my favorite places in the world.
Are you entering the tournament as a co?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm already in, bro.
Nice. That's
I'll
awesome,
pay my
dude.
money and everything.
That's
That
awesome.
Carolina Rig Cinco, catfish that thing all over the place.
What's that?
I said you're going to go throw that Carolina Rig Cinco and catfish that thing all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Well, I wish you the best of luck.
Heck yeah, that's cool, man.
You know.
I just hope
First
I don't
time
draw
going-
somebody that's trying to run to the lake.
First time getting back in the boat as a co on a big series event.
Yeah,
Been
it's
a
been a
while.
while. It's
Yeah.
been a while. Yeah.
That's
Yep.
cool, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, we'll have some more stuff to talk
Missing
about.
a week of work. I'm freaking out. All kinds of stuff's happening.
Well, good deal. Well, we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about that next week. We're going to be back next Tuesday with another Bass University Live. And GDP, thanks so much, buddy. Appreciate
Petey.
you. It's always great to have you.
Good to be here.
And
Yeah.
JK, thanks for being here tonight. Appreciate all your bringing your buddy on, the champ. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man, he's great. Glad to have had him on, and always a great time. Really enjoyed the Cayuga stuff too, man. Just pumped for you.
I appreciate it, man. It's great to have you cheering for me and all the guys. It's really wonderful, and that's pretty. And I just want to thank Riz and BTC for the amazing way that you brought us back on the air after the thunderstorm.
Yeah. Let's team. Let's team.
Let's get me out of here. So sick of this stuff.
Hey, it was awesome. Hey, congratulations to Howie, and thanks for paying attention. Appreciate you, and thanks everybody for watching. If you haven't subscribed, go over to BASSU.tv. I promise you, it's going to help you be a better angler, catch more and bigger bass, and we will see you next week. Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Bass University Live. Good night, everybody.
See you guys.
AquaView, the leader in underwater viewing technology. Find what you are looking for. Catch more fish. Have more fun. AquaView. Seeing is believing.
Why do you love catching fish and rods?
I'm truly losing less fish.
Is the sensitivity of the rod.
That they're made right here in North Carolina in the USA. Strongest, lightest rod, 100% made here in Sanford, North Carolina.
From the drop shot rod to the flipping stick. Every rod has a purpose to it, and I rely on them all the time when I'm out there in a tournament.
Durability in the John Cruz Worming series, the counterbalancing in the handle.
It's the only rod I found that can withstand my hook set. Boom goes the dynamite.
We're different. Some would say obsessed. There's no place on earth we'd rather be than right here, right now. Performance-driven gear, so you can fish longer, harder. Gill's Performance Fishing.
2021 Red Crest champion Dustin Connell here, and if you watch live coverage, we just got done at Lake Eufaula. I caught my fish using the active target with Lowrance. What you didn't see is I run a Sea Clear power harness in my boat. One of the main advantages to running this harness is it does not drain my batteries down at all running my 4 units. And what that's going to allow me to do is I'm able to see my bait at 8 a.m. just as good late in the day. Y'all check them out at seaclearpower.com.
You take pride in your boat, so it deserves the best protection possible. Our durable woven fabric prevents ripping and provides UV protection, and our tape seams provide protection against the elements. The heavy-duty shock cord hem and strap and buckle system provide a tight and secure fit. Our top-of-the-line boat covers come with a ventilation system to keep your boat free from mold buildup. Empire Covers, protecting what you love.